Get over here!
Welcome to The Now, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm John Reisinger.
Does the new Xbox Game Pass service mean that it's finally game over for GameStop?
Game over, stop.
Yeah, see what we did there? It was real clever.
Did I step on a joke later?
No, that was the height of humor.
Okay.
The recently announced subscription service has already financially punched the retailer in the stomach. Some say this might just be the beginning.
The death of used games has been predicted for a while now, but with Microsoft's new subscription service coming out soon, could GameStop be going the way of Blockbuster Video?
Maybe. Hopefully not. I mean, probably not entirely, but we'll get to that. Here's a little background if you don't know what the hell we're talking about. Yesterday, Microsoft announced that it's introducing a new subscription service for Xbox One that gives players access to more than 100 Xbox One and backwards compatible Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, and almost immediately after that news broke on Tuesday, GameStop's stock, it went boom, boom down.
Wait, boom, boom down?
Boom, boom down. It dropped nearly 8%.
Our audience is not 3-year-olds.
I'm not either. That's words I use. It dropped 8%, and it's not hard to see why. As companies like Microsoft open up their back catalogs and try to monetize them, that's bad news for those people who sell used game stuff.
Right, and as we've seen, GameStop, those guys love used games.
Yes.
It makes way more money for them than new releases do, actually, because they're able to buy pretty low and sell still reasonably high.
Yeah.
And through efforts like the Circle of Life program, the retailer is clearly trying to push employees to sell as many used games as possible over new games.
So it's safe to say that investors see the Xbox Game Pass service as a big-time threat to GameStop.
Well, the newest threat to used games at GameStop. As VentureBeat put it, if more people are playing digital games, that takes product out of the supply chain that could end up on GameStop store shelves. Additionally, Game Pass looks like it will primarily traffic in older games that people would typically purchase used.
Of course, it's worth noting that GameStop's demise has been predicted before. After all, these aren't
many times.
Yeah, it's not the best time to be a brick-and-mortar retailer. Just talk to Blockbuster, or Best Buy, or Borders.
Well, those
remember Circuit City? That was a thing too.
I do remember Circuit City.
Yeah, not anymore. They're all retail chains that used to be on top of the world, but now have been either killed or drastically cut back because of online competition.
And it's not the first time the GameStop's taken a hit after gaming companies announced subscription services either. The hits just kind of keep coming. When EA announced its EA Access program in 2014, GameStop shares took a dive then as well. Back then, its stock dropped more than 5%, but then it did go on to rebound. So it was just the initial shock of the announcement.
Same thing happened for Sony's subscription service, PlayStation Now. That time, GameStop's stock dropped more than 9% after Sony announced its service to allow people to rent and stream older PlayStation games.
So on the one hand, reports of GameStop's demise have been greatly exaggerated. The company has survived a lot of online subscription services before. They'll survive this one as well.
But on the other hand, with Microsoft's latest announcement, this means that the two companies that are competing for the most cutting-edge console games both have their own subscription services now. Long term, that can't be good news if you're in the used game business.
Also though, speaking of long term, if you look at GameStop's stock price from November 15th, 2013, it was at a peak of $56.53 a share. That date is pretty important because it was just a few months before Sony and EA announced their subscription services. As of yesterday, GameStop stock has lost more than 56% of its value over that couple of years, which means that those services are actually having an impact, as is the ongoing transition to a more digital future.
Yeah, I don't buy the physical games anymore.
Eddie does. Eddie saved our stream yesterday by having a physical copy of Horizon because we were having so much trouble downloading it.
Don't support him.
There's still a place for physical, just saying.
Yeah. As for whether or not GameStop will go the way of the Buffalo, they came back.
Well,
the Buffaloes are fine now.
Maybe so will GameStop.
We're eating them. They're good enough that we're eating them.
They're delicious.
But they went no in the Red Dead Redemption playthrough.
Maybe the way of the dodo. Dodos never came back.
Dodos didn't come back. Haven't gotten to eat one of those.
It doesn't sound nearly as Red Dead Redemption-y though.
Yeah.
Dodo.
No, it's not Far Cry. What's the dinosaur one with Ark? Yep. People like to make these predictions all the time about GameStop, but the market for used video games isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It can be an expensive hobby that adds up for some, so either purchasing used games or trading in old games to fuel new purchases is something that's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, GameStop's issue, the issue that they've constantly been having to address with their investors for the last few years, is how they plan on grabbing some of the digital market. Now, they've dabbled in a number of strategies to combat that, most recently in the form of pre-ordering digital currency, like the kind found in MLB The Show. So they're working on it. They're working on ways to offset the shift. but
They need to work harder than that.
yes.
So yeah, GameStop's ability to hold so much of the games market is going to diminish as people switch to digital.
Or as they get these subscription services.
Yeah, but there'll always be a place in this world for a retailer that buys back games and gives you new ones. Still, programs like Xbox Game Pass eat into their normal market in a major way, and they won't be the only ones in the industry who have to take notice.
So, survive? Yeah, probably. Just like the bison, the mighty, mighty buffalo. But they might scale back a little bit, as the buffalo also did. Meanwhile, we've learned a few more details about the Xbox Game Pass service. For one, Microsoft confirmed that Game Pass will not affect games with gold. You will still get the free games every month as a totally separate thing. A Microsoft representative told Kotaku, games with gold and Xbox Game Pass are two different service offerings with unique benefits. And while Xbox Live Gold is not required for Xbox Game Pass, it is required if you want to play the multiplayer aspects of the games in Game Pass. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I can understand it, you can understand it.
Boom, boom down.
Yeah, the Microsoft spokesperson also said that while the Xbox Game Pass catalog will update every month, games will only sometimes be removed. That's got quotations around it. That's not a good word. Players will have access to all games on the pass as long as they remain in the library and the players remain subscribed. If you unsubscribe or a game leaves the library, the games will be removed. But the save data from those games will be saved should the player restart the sub or purchase the game.
Yeah. It's also not confusing.
Yeah.
Also, Xbox marketing boss Aaron Greenberg talked on Twitter about possibly gifting subscriptions. Someone asked Greenberg if it would be possible to purchase a Game Pass membership and then give it to a friend. Maybe it's a cool Christmas gift or something to give someone a year subscription. Greenberg said that it's not a confirmed feature, but that he liked the idea, so maybe.
Greenberg also added that the Xbox Game Pass will only have a month-by-month subscription option available, so no discount if you buy a whole year's worth.
So what do you guys think of the Game Pass service and it's potentially spelling doomsday on Buffaloes and GameStops alike? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your gaming industry news, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the know.
And for the latest on Buffalo.
We'll talk about them. They're worthwhile. They taste wonderful too.
I actually quite like bison.
They're very lean. It's good protein. Ted Turner sells them a lot.
Well, also speaking of long term, if you look at GameStop stock price.
GameStop stock.
GameStop stock.